which comes from the requirement of the society. So if society is in some requirement of some, maybe an object of a service or some kind of thing which is required by the society, then only a Herculean research is done, a huge research is done on that particular product, and that particular product will be launched. Say, for example, we are viewing that there's no medicine available for COVID-19 and COVID-19. So huge research is going on to even identify the vaccine for the COVID-19 or for the medicine of the COVID-19. So this is what the earlier seeds of research used to be. And what is report? Now, if you can talk about this combined term research report, now all the facts and facets of a research, if you want to quote in a docket, in a document, then all these facts and facets are clubbed together and documented inside a documentary which is called as research report. Now, how to draft that research report is a skill. And about that particular topic only we are going to discuss today for next 30-40 minutes or whatever the time permitted. So I welcome you all for this session. Let me try to navigate through all the contents which we are going to discuss. And then the first ever thing which we are going to navigate is definition, that what is research report and how to go about it. Then we are having title pages and supporting documents. Look, when I say research report, I thoroughly mean over here the report which is signifying a research work. Look, there's a difference between research proposal and research report. We are not going to discuss about research proposal. We are going to discuss today about research report. So when I say that we are going to have a discussion on research report, we are going to define it clearly. We are going to mention that what are the title pages consisting of and what are the supporting documents it has. Then how to draft an abstract. Look, abstract is so very important because upon the reading of abstract only, an author is going to decide whether he is going to refer your paper or not. So abstract is like your face, that how you are visible, how the complete layout of the paper is going to be, or the report is going to be. After that, you are going to have introduction. Now there are a number of myths into the author's mind when they are drafting introduction. So I'm going to clarify each and every doubt. Fundamentally, when you write introduction, it is introduction which is written in connection to your title of the research. That is so very important. So I'm going to come in details when we are going to navigate this chapter. After that, there comes literature review. Now there's a different terminologies of literature. When you're having literature to explore, there's a literature survey, then there's a literature review and all those kind of things. Even though when you're in literature review, you can draft papers, research papers and white papers or manuscripts or write research articles. So this is the topic which we are going to visit. Then we are having proposed system, so very crucial. Now this proposed system actually is going to demonstrate your unique contribution in the research. And if your unique contribution in the research is still, or it is having potential into it, you will get your publications all around, regardless of the repute of unrest, regardless of the repute of the journal, whether it's worldwide or globally recommended or something is that. So your proposed system is your backbone of the research. Then so very crucial, result analysis, how you will prove the uniqueness, the quality of your research by using this terminology, which is called a result analysis. Finally, we have to draft conclusion, and we are going to talk about that. And then we need to talk about some of the other issues. So let me start with something. This is the definitions of the research report. So what used to be a research report? Let's concentrate onto it. A research used to be a complete study of the report, which is an investigation or exploration of a problem. Now try to understand these technical terms. Investigation and exploration of a problem, which identifies questions to address and includes data collected, analyzed, and interpreted by research. Now I included two keywords in line number 1, which is investigation and exploration. Look, when you're trying to investigate, what it means, you're trying to find the facts. That means whatever the literature is available, whatever the reports are available, whatever the manuscripts are available, you're trying to find out the facts of that. And the second keyword which I used is exploration. Now, what is the meaning of exploration? Exploration means you're only getting acquainted with that. You're only getting, you're only unexposing curtains of the technology. This is how you can determine the problem. And then identification of various questions to address and includes data collection. Now, obviously, once you identified a unique problem or a unique question or a topic, then you need to have some data to be collected against it. You need to analyze the data to design a proper solution mechanism. And these all things should be properly interpreted by a researcher. So if you're doing all these things and collecting in one report, then you can say it as a research report. So the foundation stones of the research report is based on investigation and exploration of the technical topic. Now, when you're drafting a report, how your report should appear physically or even logically. So what actually that report consisting of, and what are the ingredients of that report should look like, this slide will explain that. Your report should have title pages and supporting documents, which includes, look, name of the researchers. You might be wondering that, sir, this is so very simple slide, but still you are including this. Look, this is important because when you are drafting research proposals, maybe a research proposal like a patent or a copyright, at that time you separately may mention the name of the applicant and name of the researcher. So name of the applicant will be differ from the name of the researcher. But who is applicant? Applicant is somebody who is applying for the proposal. You're getting it? But who is researcher? Researcher is somebody who actually uniquely contributed into the research and brought some wonderful results. So try to understand the difference between the two. So when you are writing the title pages of your research report, I'm saying about report, not proposal, you need to mention the name of the researchers. It is but obvious the candidate who's performed the research in the research lab will be mentioned over here, along with the supervisor, because supervisor's contribution is there. He used to guide you what to do and what not to do. That's why the name in the name of the researcher, his name also should be contributed and should be combined. Then you're having title of research. This is so very important. Look, if your title of research is impeccable, it is having appeal into it, then only it will be get sanctioned by various authorities or statutory bodies which are sitting over there for sanctioning of it. So whenever you're choosing a research article or a research title, be very significant about it, very decisive about it. Now, in what context I mean to say this? Look, whatever the keywords which you are including into the research title, those keywords should be extremely justifiable by you. You cannot afford to put the highly rated keywords or highly appealing keywords for the sake of good looking of the topic. No, absolutely not. Whatever the keywords which you are quoting inside your title, that should be absolutely justifiable from your side. And secondarily, they will hit the target of your aim, hit the target of your objectives, and satisfy every requirement of your research which you are doing. That's why to decide research title is extremely crucial. You need to have multiple discussions, multiple compilation meetings with your guides, with your supervisors, with your ancestors, with your seniors. When you're quoting a research title, you need to take care of that very, very rigorously. Because every now and then when you're proposing your research title, the questions are going to be erected on that. So after that, you can mention the name of the institution or research lab, because that has impact on your research, because those are the entities which are going to facilitate with you. They are going to provide the facilities of infrastructure or logical facilities, or going to help in some or the other ways. So the mentioning of institute and research lab is compulsory. After that, we need to include various indexes. Now, the indexes are there for the various contents or the tables which you are having, or the shortcuts which you are using, maybe figures or diagrammatic presentations or the graphs. So for all those things, you need to include various indexes. Do not forget anything which is, which is there in your thesis, which is there in your report and you haven't indexed it. Maybe screenshots, you can index it. After that, you're having plagiarism report. Oh, this is so very big fish. Now, nowadays, the research ethics are depending upon this keyword, which is called as plagiarism report. An organization has started purchasing, anti-plagiarism softwares. They are very, very famous anti-plagiarism softwares which are available in the world. You can have any software of that kind which will provide you the anti-plagiarism report. And then by virtue of that software, you can obtain a report which will prove that whatever the contribution of the research you are doing is indeed your work. So these are all the contents of title pages which we can have. Now let's see what abstract mean or what abstract has. In abstract, you can code something as this. An abstract is a brief summary of a research article, review, or any in-depth analysis of a particular subject, and is often used to help the reader to quickly get accustomed for research purpose for the research purposes. So let's try to understand this all the things or the technical keywords which I quoted inside of the abstract, and what is the cruciality of the abstract. Look, upon the reading of the abstract only, the one researcher or the manuscript writer possesses any interest in your paper, that what this paper is lead towards or where the paper is actually moving towards. So these are crucial things are quoted in abstract. It is having brief summary of your research article. Whatever the article you have chosen, you can have a brief cameo of it in abstract, or you can have review of yours. That means you navigated through complete article or complete research, and these are your findings, these are your reviews which are come out of it, or any in-depth analysis of a particular subject. Suppose you have done some quantitative analysis that if I will do these things, efficiency will be better by these percentage. If I will use these things, then the speed will be better by this percentage. So if these sort of some quantitative analysis you have quoted, you can quote that even in the abstract. Is often used to help the reader to quickly get accustomed with the research purposes. So if a researcher want to get accustomed with your title, he will go and read your abstract. So these are all the findings you can quote inside the abstract. Obviously, abstract should be concluded with the keywords. Now, what are keywords? Now, keywords are the reserve words. These are the technical words which are only known to you or known to this technical topic or crowded with this technical topic. So you need to mention that, so that whenever a layman reads your report, he will get accustomed that, okay, these are the technical words which are included in this title. Now I'll proceed. So in introduction, let me try to go for introduction. Here there's a myth when the report writers actually go for introduction. They think so that they are going to introduce about the technology or the terminology they are going to work upon. Say like they are working on cloud computing, so they start introducing cloud computing, or somebody is working in information sciences, so they start introducing the confidentiality or integration or authentication. Look, introduction is not all about that. Introduction is so simple. You need to introduce your technical topic over here. Whatever the research you are doing, whatever the research you are navigating through, exploring through, that research you need to introduce over here. That's so simple. You cannot afford to get away by discussing all the things which are there in the world in connection to your technical topic. So you stick to your topic and introduce that. And what it includes, the first thing it includes is preamble. Now, what is preamble? The preamble are the ancestor of your topic. Whatever the technical topic you are working upon, the immediate ancestor of that is your preamble. So you need to discuss about that. Suppose that you're talking about example I'm taking, say like you're talking about cloud computing. Okay. Now, if you can talking about cloud computing, you can have the preamble of the data warehouses, which is having huge or bulky storage, or databases which are possessing huge storage. So that maybe act as your preamble. Then the most important thing in introduction you need to mention is your motivation and need. Now this motivation and need actually tells why you're working on this title. Is there somebody in the society? Is there somebody in the industry? Is there somebody in the defense wants this product to be get implemented? This is your motivation? That's why you need this product to work on. You need to mention study over here in motivation or need. Then important aim of the research. What you're doing so? What is the ambition of accomplishing this research? What is the target of yours? You need to mention over here. Objectives. So objectives you can't do this. Objectives are nothing but step-wise achievements or step-wise probable achievements which you're going to accomplish after doing the research. Any questionnaire or any viva or any defense which you're going to face for your research is going to be based on your objectives. You need to justify your objectives. That, look, sir, I targeted this and I'm going to prove this, and this is how I've done it. Thesis guidelines. You need to, to guideline the reader of your thesis or your report that this is how I had designed the report. So you can quote some lines about that. So these are the inclusions in introduction. Let me see literature review. Look, the keyword I used is literature review. I want your concentration on this keyword, literature review. There are some researchers who used to quote the this keyword as literature survey. When you're doing literature survey, that is only fact finding. But when you're quoting the word literature review, that means whatever the fact findings you have done, what is your opinion about it? So this is about literature review, because as a researcher, you should give your contribution to the research. That is important. And if you are only, say, putting the title as literature survey, that means you acquainted with several technologies, you came across with some of the fact finding, and you're quoting like that. Research should be, what is your contribution? What is your opinion? So that's why I use the keyword literature review over there. Now in review, you should mention the historical background. Is there existing a previous history for this technical topic which you are working upon? And if there is such a certain history which is available, please include that rich history so that it will prove that this research is going on from years and years. It is not newly came demand. Actually, there are systems which are working for the upgradations of this research from historical background. So that historical background you need to bring over here. I will share a small story about cryptography. I was working with my student about cryptography, and we found out an article which is backward history of 1400s, where there was a war between German and Russians, and Russian has sent their one of the soldier to the Germans, and then he has written something on his head when he was completely bald, and then he let the hairs to grow on his head, and then he back came to the Russia, and on that head his information was written. So this was the historical background of cryptography, how to make a simple text into the complicated text. So such sort of historical backgrounds, if available, please include. That will show you the richness of your literature. Then you're having existing system. What is you need to quote when you're writing the research report? In existing system, you need to mention the parallel systems which are working along with your system, or which are working earlier to your proposed system. This is compulsory, because by virtue of these systems only, you either prove your system is better or you prove your system is not better. So this is how existing system is very important. Please do not forget to mention the architecturals of the existing system. By virtue of these architectures of existing system only, you can come up with the new architectures or modifiable or updated architectures which are going to perform well in the future. Comparison between various existing systems. This is also important, because this comparison only lead towards your problem definition, what you're going to work upon, what is your area of work. So that is going to be demonstrated by using this comparison. You can have a tabular structure or something like that. You can go the comparisons between the various existing systems. Limitations of existing systems. Extremely important point. Please concentrate onto it. This point lead to your research, because there is a problem with the existing system, and due to that problem you are working on something. This limitation of this existing system, you need to be extremely smart and severe, because this limitation is going to lead to your problem definition. Understand this. Because literature review may be very long, it's exhaustive, because there are a number of supervisors or guides used to suggest that you should at least go with 40 research papers, 50 research papers while drafting your review, or even some of the supervisors suggest that you can at least go for 100 research papers while you're drafting your review. So review used to be very, 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 very huge sometimes. So you need to summarize it and discuss it in 2 or 3 paragraphs. That this is what we navigated throughout the review. So this is the big chapter which we covered now, which is literature review. After that, this is the backbone of your research, which is proposed system. Here actually you comes into the picture. What is your quality comes into the picture. let's try to propose system. What you think, sir? Maybe the solution will be quoted over here. Now, the first ever step to propose system is problem definition. You need to mention what is your problem, upon what you're working. So that is important. Now, quoting the correct problem definition with the discussion of the supervisors, guides, seniors, and is so very important, because working on correct problem is so very important. You cannot afford to work and waste your time on. Now, once you're defined with the problem that, okay, this is my problem, then what is the basic idea? What are the basic technologies, terminologies, tools, trends which are available, which will provide the solution to that problem? Those cultivations will be quoted inside basic idea. Then how am I going to crack this ice? You need to mention in basic idea. Say, for example, you are having threat of authentication, or you are having threat on the information which is getting leaked from your system. So you should provide in basic idea multi-tier model. So it's a multi-tier model which I'm going to apply and going to provide a solution to my authentication problem. This is how basic ideas can be written or drafted. Identification to provide comprehensive solution, extremely nicely quoted. I use two keywords over here. First keyword I used is identification of modules, and second keyword I used is comprehensive solution. Look, what is trying to understand what is identification of modules. Whenever you are designing a solution to a problem, it is not compulsive, but always suggestive that the complete solution should be divided into the modules. And you need to smartly design the modules. Those are easily get accomplished. Now, this is the meaning of identification of module. Now, what is comprehensive solution? Understand this. Comprehensive solution determines the entire solution which is quoted by problem definition. And whatever the objectives you have mentioned, are you going to provide full-fledged solution to those objectives by using this idea, by using these modules? Those should be mentioned in comprehensive solution. It should not be like you're saying that I'm working on application problem. I'm going to provide 3-tier model. Tier 1 and tier 2 are working, but tier 3 is yet to be tested. This is not comprehensive solution. You need to give end-to-end solution, compact solution, which will sound nice and good, provide proper output. Then proposed idea using mathematical model design of an algorithm. This will prove your research. This point, which I'm going to discuss now in next 2 minutes, 3 minutes, is going to prove your research. Whatever the idea you're proposing, that should be mathematically provable. It should not be very hypocritic, very theoretical. You cannot afford to conceptualize your idea. You cannot afford to only, theoretically drafting your solutions. You need to mathematically prove, look, 2 + 2 = 4. This was my target. This is I. Mathematical model is so very compulsory. Or you can propose a design. Look, this is the design, how the data used to get flow. And if design will be followed, if this design of proposed system will be followed, I'm going to obtain whatever the proposed results are. You can have block diagrams. You can write algorithms. Now, algorithms can be drafted in the form of mnemonics, or you can use some, your own way of writing the algorithms. But the only meaning is that it should satisfy the mentioned problem. Then probable outcomes. Yeah, these are implications. Look, whenever you are having a proposed system, you also need to mention the probable outcomes. What are the implications of it? It should not merely that, okay, this is the problem, now this is the solution. So you need to also give that, okay, it should be high. Then what the probable outcomes are there? So there are probable implications we can obtain. This you need to propose. After that, we are going to close to your research results. Now, in result analysis, what is to be done? Let's try to understand this keyword result analysis. It's very crucial. Let's understand this, why it is quoted or why it is included in the research report writing. Look, result analysis is going to prove the uniqueness, or it is the evidence to prove the uniqueness of the research. If your research is genuine, it's going to be proven in the result analysis section. Now let us see what are the inclusions. What it has, Okay, analyzing the obtained outcomes with the results of existing system using some independent tools. Now, what is actually happening into it? Whatever the existing system has given the solution about, you have to compare your results with the existing system's results. So you there have to provide the sufficient evidence that look, whatever the results I have obtained and whatever the results the existing system has given, there is a difference into it. And maybe my system is providing better results than the existing systems which are there. So this is you need to code, and this is you need to code by using some of the independent tools. You cannot afford to have one tool for yourself and other tool for other body. No, the tool should be common. And by using that common tool, you need to prove that, okay, this is my result and this is the result which some author has got. And this is how my results are better than the existing authors. Now, it is recommended to prove obtained results using multiple tools on multiple parameters. So very crucial. If you really want that your results should be broadcasted genuinely and your research should be identified, then you should use multiple tools. You cannot afford to rely on single tool to prove your research. You should include multiple tools. And not only multiple tools, these multiple tools should work on multiple parameters of your data set. And by virtue of that, you should prove that, okay, look, this is my research result, and this is how the existing system. So these are the inclusions which you need to mention in research result. Believe me, guys, after the proposed system, the unique derivation of your research will be shown by using result analysis section. If your proposed system, your backbone of your result analysis is the brain of the research. So try to understand the analogy. Now, in conclusion, what is to include? Now, it provides a short description about your complete proposed work. Whatever you have done, whatever you have performed, a short cameo, a short study of that will be included in conclusion. It also has epilogue and future scope. Now let's try to understand what is epilogue. Epilogue is the technical contribution which has been done to prove your proposed system. And for about future scope, that whatever the proposed system you have gone through, where else it can go? Which are the other zones, which are the other domains, which are the other verticals it can go? Which are the other technologies which can be included? Which are the futuristic developments which are there in your proposed system? You can quote over here in future scope. And about references, generally it is suggested by various authorities that you should quote them in IEEE format, and it is easily available on Google. You just Google it, it will be available to you. So there is various IEEE format which are available. There are IEEE format for research papers, for manuscripts, for research articles, for books, for various other things. There are various formats, so you can just follow it and then quote it accordingly. List of publication, you can mention your publication list over here. If you filed any patent, you can mention over here. If you have presented any paper in the conference, you can mention over here, or even in the journals, you can mention over here. Yeah, your author can mention all the publications of his or her interest or research. Thank you. This is from my side. And I hope I covered all the points of research report writing. Now, if you have any issues or difficulties in this session, you can ask.
So thank you, sir, for your nice presentation. And it was very informative. And I would like to request you to stop sharing option is there, and you can just click that one.
Okay.